Hello everybody, Ray Garner with Garner's Games, here for my weekly comic review. This one's going to be a little more challenging. Challengers of the Unknown. It's kind of a favorite of mine from back in the day. And I do like the concept of the Trinity teaming up with them as part of the new Justice League Unlimited. The underlying story on this is really complex. This is diving into what happened with Darkseid when he died on the Watchtower to create the Absolute Universe. And of course, they go with the people who are going to be the best at figuring it out, which are the challengers. And the person organizing all this is, of course, Mr. Terrific, one of the smartest men on the planet. And I should backtrack a little bit and mention who actually did this book, which is going to be Christopher Cantwell and Sean Izaakse. I'm not sure. It's Izaakse. I'm sure I butchered that name pretty good. But if you're going to do it all the way. So anyway, we get into the story, and they have found some deposits that have been affected by the release of Darkseid's energy on Mars. And we really kind of dive in a little bit to the teams, like wondering why while very intelligent, very adventurous humans are up here dealing with Superman and Captain Marvel and Green Lantern and are supposed to be being seen as equals, which, Ace doesn't actually see how they can be seen as equals. But as they're going to the mission, Superman goes with them, and he makes a big point about the fact that as much as he knows about stuff, this is not his area of expertise. The person in charge are the challengers. He also points out that for whatever reason, he picked out the colors of the suits for himself, which we know Batman and Wonder Woman are going to be involved because they're on almost every single cover, but they're not involved in this issue. They find one of these obelisks, as this you'd call it, and they decide they want to break off a piece, so they have Superman try to break it off, and he hauls off and hits it, according to himself, as hard as he can. And the material's not impressed. So he tells him he wants Superman to superheat one ion. He's like, one ion? As in a single ion? He said, yes, Superman. One single ion. So Superman is sitting there heat visioning one thing. And we do get this scene where as he's looking at it, his eyes turn black. Not Superman's, but Ace's. And that'll become a little bit important later in the story. He has a flash right away, though, of all his potential other lives at one time, including one where he would have gotten the ring instead of Hal Jordan, which was actually pointed out by Superman that Hal's actually said, I don't understand why the ring didn't choose him instead of me, or pin him and me instead of him. Get that in the right order, it works better. And this goes on for a couple of pages. When he comes back, he is groggy. He's trying to figure out, and he's actually bleeding a little bit. And he gets very snippy with Superman when Superman offers to basically carry the plane back to the Watchtower. And he's like, I can fly. Then as they're being debriefed, it's pointed out that they're withholding a little bit of information to the rest of the Watchtower. And Mr. Terrific comes in. He wants them all to leave the room so he can talk to Superman. And, Superman even points out there's supposed to be full disclosure between all League members. And he goes, and Trey discusses him, goes, Superman, I have no idea what that is, but I need you to vaporize it and return to Mars and vaporize the rest. What? He's like, listen, I've I'll be able to explain this better down the road, but the dark side anomalies aren't just elements or occurrences beyond the walls of the watchtower. I believe anomalies have manifested themselves within the challengers themselves. And that's where the book ends. I like it because we're really getting to a little bit more scientific, trying to figure out what's going on with what happened with Darkseid. My belief is that this book will lead us into a crossover between the Absolute Universe and the Justice League Unlimited, which was kind of foretold in the All-In special, which sets up the Justice League. This book is very wordy, so if you don't like reading, you may not like this book, because this is not a turn page and just enjoy the cool art. It's a lot more reading, a lot more in depth. You don't know what's going on by the end of the story, but you do know something's going on, and it's going to have to be figured out. If you like science and you like some mystery and you like some in-depth story writing, I do highly recommend this book. Check it out. I'll see you next week.